What's going on, everybody? It's your boy. First thing first, if you guys know me, you know I'm blunt. I keep it 100 on this channel at all times. I won't ever bullshit you guys ever. Before I start, I gotta say I apologize. Kind of got like some voice issues going on right now. I'll try my best to project in regards to this video. All right. Now, the reason I wanted to make this video is because this is one of those things that is widely talked about, not only in the Marine Corps, but throughout all the other branches of service as well. And that is toxic leadership. Now, what is toxic leadership? I'll let you guys think on that for a minute, but I will tell you what toxic leadership is. There really isn't a definition for toxic leadership. It's just a series of events that can occur between a leader and a subordinate, individuals of a leadership role and individuals under that individual as a supporting role for the most part. So leaders and Marines, or leaders and soldiers, leaders and sailors, etc. Right? Now, if you guys know me, you know I'm not one to stray away from sensitive topics in regards to the military, because everybody assumes I just talk about the positives, and that's not true. You guys look at my channel, the history, I cover a lot of the negatives as well, but I give you guys real, blunt, honest information in regards to those negatives, and I always give you guys solutions to deal with those negatives. All right, because a lot of people just like to call it what it is and just walk away. All right, not me. Now, toxic leadership, how to deal with toxic leadership. Some of my advice for you guys, and it is real. I want you guys to take out your little notepads, take out your phone, save the clip, whatever, rewind, do whatever you guys do to ensure you get all the information that I'm about to give you guys. Now, how to deal with toxic leadership. Number one, you need to identify whether or not you are even dealing with a toxic leader. What do I mean by that? It means like anyone can call anyone a toxic leader. Okay, anyone can do that. Come on, I mean, hell, I can call my boss a toxic leader right to his face. But guess what? Do I have enough information to back up that claim? The point I'm trying to make is a lot of individuals in the military love to throw out that toxic leadership thing, right? Not everything in the military is toxic. Not every leader in the military is toxic. And I think that's kind of a problem that we run into a lot. Is there a lot of toxic? No, it's not a lot of toxic. Is there some toxic leaders who make life miserable for their service members? Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, it wouldn't be life. Every profession has toxic leadership. The corporate world has toxic leadership. All right? Walmart chains have toxic leadership. Target chains has toxic leadership. McDonald's, Burger King, all these companies, all these places, all these businesses have toxic leadership. The point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, is we're all adults here for the most part. Okay, we all have common sense. We know what it is. There's going to be individuals who take advantage of their role or their position in any type of profession on earth. In any profession, we know that. So let's not pretend like we don't know that. Let's not pretend like the world is a perfect place and every individual is going to cater directly to our personality and our needs, because you know that's not the case. Now, getting back to my point at hand is a lot of individuals, a lot of service members like to throw out toxic leadership, but is everything toxic? Let me give you guys some example. You get yelled at because you show up to work late. Is that toxic leadership? You get yelled at because you're not performing at the level to which they know that you can perform at. Is that toxic leadership? You're staying late at work because the work isn't done, but no one wants to take charge and complete the work. Is that toxic leadership? The point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, is everything isn't toxic. Everything isn't. That's which is going to roll me over to my next point. You need to understand how your person in charge of you operates as a person first before you label them as toxic. What do I mean by that? You need to break down, you need to understand how they perform as a person, as a human being first, because this is crucial. Because everyone has a different personality trait. Those personality traits are very huge whenever it comes to leadership capabilities and leadership styles. It is. For instance, you may have a calm leader like myself Was I always a calm leader? Hell no. I was getting to people's asses as a corporal. As a corporal, I was a bulldog. I was a menace. But then I had to take a step back to know, like, damn, some of the things that I'm doing to my Marines is causing them to be a little uneasy. So me, yes, at one point, did I consider myself a toxic leader to an extent? Not a toxic leader. I never hazed my Marines. I held them accountable, but I did it, so much more as yelling at them a lot. Then I learned that, hey, yelling at individuals is not always going to bring the best out of them. It's not. So that's when I picked up the rank of sergeant, I kind of adopted my fatherly role, my fatherly mentality, especially when I had my son. What I'm trying to make is leadership styles and abilities can change over time. And that's why I love giving guidance to young individuals. Doesn't matter what branch of service you guys will be going to. At some point in time, you may experience some type of toxic leadership. You need to know, you need to understand and recognize how those leaders are as persons first, so that way you can better realize because here's the thing. We have a lot of dominant personality traits. Those individuals, naturally, just that's who they are as a person. They're just mean and vocal individuals as a person. It's not always a negative thing. Just understand how those individuals think, so that way you can better perform around those individuals. Okay? Learning how they think first. All right? Now, a lot of individuals may say, things happening before their life in the military that caused them to be that way, and that's true. That's true. You think an individual get bullied all of his life? He gets bullied all of his life, and now he's in a role to where he's a mentor, he's a leader. You don't think that he can potentially get carried away sometimes? Yes. That's just common sense, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I preach common sense here. All right, everyone expects a perfect world, but you got to understand those types of leaders. There's nothing wrong with sitting down with your leader, letting them know, hey, some of the things that you're doing is a little bit irrational. It's irrelevant. It's not solving any issues. It's not making anything better. You guys have the right to do so. And leaders, if you guys are watching this video, if you don't give your Marines or your soldiers or your airmen or your sailors that respect enough to come to you to say, hey, whatever your rank is, we don't like the way you're conducting business right now. You should be ashamed of yourself. You really should. A leader and subordinate should be a team effort in every single aspect. For instance, I'm a staff sergeant in the Marines. If I have sergeants underneath me, I need to be able to communicate effectively with my sergeants, so the way they can communicate effectively with their Marines, their corporals and their Marines. That's how it should be. I shouldn't just be the boss and just give bark out orders. I should need to listen what the fuck my sergeants are telling me, because those are the individuals out there with the Marines 24/7, not me as a leader. And a lot of leaders need to understand that as well. We need to hold each other. We need to hold each other accountable, and that's all that is. So for individuals watching this video, I challenge you. You're going to be placed in those situations where things can get a little bit as long as you speak to your leaders in a tactful manner. Tactful meaning, a manner in which is respectable in all areas, okay? Not being disrespectful, all right? Talk to them in a respectful manner first. All right, just don't go giving out attitudes just because you're having a bad day, because that's not bad. It's not going to roll right in any scenario for the most part. Talk to your leaders in a tactful manner. Hey, whatever your name is, I don't feel that what you're doing is appropriate. I feel that it's making the morale of the unit go down significantly, because morale to me is everything. I'm a high morale type of guy. That's why I spread positively. I try my best to spread positively. I still talk about the negatives and ways how to neutralize the negatives, but you guys know me, for those who've been subscribed to me for years. For those who are new, feel free, because I'm only going to give you guys blunt, real truth. I'm going to talk about the things other individuals don't like to talk about, and we're going to figure this thing out together, regardless. Okay, the point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, is there's a lot of good leaders who's going to be watching this video. And if you guys choose to join the armed service, you guys too one day may be a leader, putting in a situation to where you're going to have subordinates under you. Think about that. Think about that in the future for those who are in high school right now, those who may be considering joining. Think about ways how you can make your subordinates' lives just a little bit easier. The fact that whenever they put their uniform on in the morning, they're at least happy and ecstatic to come to work for you. Think about that. Toxic leaders, of course, man. It's a new generation, though. New generation is replacing the old generation, ladies and gentlemen. The old generation being the Desert Storm generation. For those individuals still in, I don't think anyone's still in for Desert Storm, or the invasion of Iraq Marines or sailors, or that generation, early 2004. Pretty much the post 9/11 generation. We're replacing them. It's up to us to create that new foundation for the next generation to follow. It really is. Okay, it really is. But at the same time, don't go crying toxic leadership, especially if you're the toxic person. One of those things that people don't really want to talk about. Is everyone who cry toxic leadership the perfect person? I think not. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. There are some toxic followers out there too. There are some toxic subordinates out there as well. You guys know what I'm talking about. And it shouldn't always be the leaders who have to correct those individuals. That's where the problem starts right there. Why do the leaders always have to correct individuals? Have to make sure everyone is squared away and on the same page. Why can't your buddy, why can't your roommate do that to you? Why can't you do that for your roommate? Why can't you do that to the people in your section, in your squad who's all the same rank? Because contrary to popular belief, if you respect them the way you say they respect you, respect them. You really want to take it to heart whenever they come to correct you. Be like, yo, dog, you need to get your shit together, dog. You need to get your shit together. I would rather have a fellow peer, I'd rather have a fellow staff sergeant tell me that than a fucking gunnery sergeant, or a master sergeant, or an officer. I would rather my peers put me in place before that. Because if it gets to that point now, the spotlight is now on me. If it's with my peers, then it's between me and my peers. That's us thing. We need to start getting better at peer-to-peer communication, peer-to-peer correctiveness, and just because the peers, whoever you work with to the left and right of you, is going to dictate how that section works and operates. It really is. Because contrary to popular belief, as long as you stay out of trouble, you're going to get promoted, and you're going to soon fall into one of those leadership positions. And now you get just a little bit more leeway to change the narrative in your section, in your shop, in your squadron, whatever the hell you work for, your ship, whatever. But let's not sit here and act like toxic leadership isn't a thing. Come on. Have common sense, of course. It's everywhere. Right? Like bad energy is everywhere. Bad energy is everywhere. The best part about it is your boss at Walmart may not sit you guys down and tell you ways to overcome it. Or your boss in the corporate world may not sit you down and tell you ways to overcome it. What I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between a leader and a boss. Imagine having a boss who's toxic out in the world. The fact that the only ways you still have your job is they just haven't figured out a reason to fire your ass legally yet. There's no firing over here, ladies and gentlemen. It's just corrections. Just make sure everyone falls in line and everyone knows their place. Most importantly, everyone succeeds. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my video. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Until next time, it is your boy, and I'm out. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace.